Hello and welcome to Studio Classroom on the air. Your English will improve today. My name is Gabe, and here's my question for you. Do you like stories about animals that can talk? Disney has been making them for years, right? From Cinderella to The Lion King, there's something fun and engaging about a story where the animals seem human in some way. Well, Charlotte's Web is no different. And that's the name of the famous book that we'll be discussing today. I remember seeing a cartoon version of Charlotte's Web when I was a kid, and some parts of it actually almost made me cry. I never knew the relationship between a pig and a spider could do that. Well, now it's your turn to be touched a little by this spider and pig. Can you guess the spider's name? All right. You have your magazine open? Let's get started.
Charlotte's Web. A special friendship between a pig and a spider. Charlotte's Web tells the story of the friendship between a gray spider named Charlotte and a spring pig called Wilbur. Through their friendship, the author explores several themes. These include loyalty, friendship, and death. The story begins with 8-year-old Fern Arable learning that her father is going to kill a runt pig. Fern pleads for the piglet's life, and her father gives the pig to her to care for. She names him Wilbur and treats him like a pet. He soon grows too big and is sold to Fern's uncle, Homer Zuckerman.
All right, friends, let's dig into this classic. Kids' literature, perhaps a lot of people had to study or read this book in junior high school. And it's a fun book. It's a fun story, I should say, because I haven't read the book, but I've seen a cartoon version of this story, Charlotte's Web. Rebecca, have you either read the book or seen the movie?
Yes, I've done both, actually.
Nice.
I've read the book and I've seen the movie, and both are very, very good. But if you have not yet seen the movie, I would encourage you to find it and watch it.
Yeah, actually, I think there are a couple different versions out right now. I saw an animated version a long time ago, which had a lot of different songs inside. I still remember some of those songs. Well, speaking of web, in Chinese, the word for web and net, as in like a tennis court net or basketball net, it's actually the same word, wang or wangzi, right? But in English, we would use the word web when talking about what a spider creates or what a spider weaves. It's always the word web, not net.
For example, whenever I go hiking, I like to carry a stick with me to get rid of the spider webs that happen to be right in the middle of the path.
Yeah, exactly. Those are kind of annoying, right? But sometimes it is kind of fun when you're walking through the forest and then you look off to the side and it seems like there's just a spider hanging in the middle of the air. And if you look closely, of course, that spider is on its own web. Now, something about those words, web and net, of course, you can use them sometimes interchangeably, like when we're talking about the internet, we use the word net, right? That's short for the internet. But of course, www means World Wide Web. It's the same idea of a lot of connected things.
And of course, like a lot of English words have different meanings and can be used differently. So it's important that you understand the specific meaning of the word that is being used.
So we're talking about a special friendship between a pig and a spider today. Who's the pig? Who's the spider? Charlotte's Web tells the story of the friendship between a gray spider named Charlotte and a spring pig called Wilbur. Now, how do spring pigs taste, Rebecca? Is that delicious pork?
Or spring pigs, I guess.
Yeah,
pork.
I'm just kidding. We don't want to talk about eating pork right now. We're learning about something fun, right? A cute little pig.
Yes, but some people do raise pigs to eat. But anyway, we're talking about a friendship. Through their friendship, the author explores several themes. Now, before we can continue learning about these themes or talking about them, we need to explore this word, explore.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so sometimes if you're exploring a place, that means you're not familiar with the place, but you're curious and you want to get to know more about that place. So you might explore a new city that you move to, or a place that you're traveling to. The idea is to become familiar with something, to study something, to analyze something. And so this book, this story, will analyze or study or look into different themes.
And what are some of these themes? Well, these include loyalty, friendship, and death. So those are some of the themes that are discussed or explored throughout the book. Now, how does this story begin?
All right, with an 8-year-old Fern Arabelle learning that her father is going to kill a runt pig. Kind of an unfortunate thing to think about. I guess this happens on farms, though. Maybe the farmer will make a decision to kill some of the animals that perhaps they think are useless, and that's what happens with maybe a runt pig. That is, a lot of piglets are born to the mother pig, but then, well, 1 or 2 of them seems to not be able to make it to the mother's milk, and it seems like it's going to die anyway. We might call that a runt.
Fern pleads for the piglet's life, and of course, Piglet is a baby pig, and her father gives the pig to her to take care of. She names him Wilbur and treats him like a pet. He soon grows too big and is sold to Fern's uncle, Homer Zuckerman.
Okay, this is a story about the relationship between a spider and a pig. You could say they knew each other until one of them perhaps died. Till death do us part is a phrase we'd like to take a look at in
the Info Cloud.
Hello and welcome to Info Cloud. I recently attended my friend's wedding. The ceremony was very Western.
Oh, so did the couple use traditional wedding vows or did they write their own?
They used the traditional wedding vows that many of our viewers have perhaps seen in movies or TV shows.
These vows are hundreds of years old and have changed very little over the years, so some parts of it can sound a little odd.
For example, the opening line is, I, person's name, take the other person's name to be my wedded husband or wife.
But Rex, I think the really difficult part comes at the end. It's likely that last line.
Yes, and it's perhaps a little scary sounding. Till death do us part. This means that the marriage will only end if either you or your spouse passes away.
What's interesting here is that the phrase is not till death does us part.
That's because the phrase is done in the subjunctive mood, emphasizing that parting is a hypothetical situation.
It's used for hypotheticals and expressing wishes or suggestions. It's why we use were in phrases like, if I were you, I would, or I wish I were able to go, instead of was.
Welcome back to Studio Classroom. We are learning with the classic story, Charlotte's Web. So far, we've learned about a couple of characters. The little girl, Fern, who wants to save the runt piglet from being killed. Well, she wants to raise it, but of course it grows too big, and so now it has to be taken to her uncle, Mr. Zuckerman's farm. What is going to happen to this pig, Wilbur? Let's find out right now.
Charlotte's Web. In Zuckerman's barnyard, Wilbur longs for a friend because he is snubbed by the other farm animals. Charlotte, a spider whose web hangs nearby, befriends him. Soon, to Wilbur's horror, he discovers he is being raised for slaughter. Charlotte promises to find a way to save him, and she does. She reasons that Zuckerman will never kill a famous pig. So she weaves words in praise of Wilbur into her web. The web is seen as a miracle, and soon everyone is rushing to see the famous pig at Zuckerman's farm.
and we continue learning here about what happened at Homer Zuckerman's barnyard, or his farm. In Zuckerman's barnyard, Wilbur longs for a friend because he is snubbed by the other farm animals. So not only was he a runt pig to begin with, he didn't fit in with his own family, right? He wasn't strong enough to get to his mom's milk, perhaps. But now even in this new barnyard, he's snubbed. That means that the other animals weren't treating him with respect.
Charlotte, a spider whose web hangs nearby, befriends him. And of course, if you befriend someone, that just means that you become their friend. Soon, to Wilbur's horror, he discovers he is being raised for slaughter. Now we want to take a look at this phrase in here, to someone's, and then an emotion of some sort.
Yeah, this is great. This is a great phrase for you to use in speech or in writing. This means it causes somebody, or something causes somebody to have that certain emotion. So when he discovered this, it caused Wilbur to be surprised or to be horrified.
For example, my mom planned a surprise birthday party for me. To my surprise, my sister, my older sister, and her 5 kids showed up. Now, it's to my surprise because I wasn't expecting my sister and her 5 kids to come, because that's a lot of kids to bring, but it was great.
And that's a great example that you used. Most of the time, I use this phrase to one's something. I use it with a word like that, like surprise or horror or amazement. Basically, the idea of something unexpected that is going to happen, okay? But yeah, so soon to Wilbur's horror, that means he was horrified by this idea that he was going to be raised for slaughter. Basically, the idea is that that's the purpose of even being on that farm, was to just get fed and get fatter and fatter until one day, that's it.
Rather sad, but it does happen. Well, Charlotte promises to find a way to save him, and she does. So what does she do? Or what does she reason?
Yeah, I love this. She's a little spider, but she's reasoning something, just like a human would. I love these kids' stories. She reasons that Zuckerman will never kill a famous pig, so she weaves words in praise of Wilbur into her web. Let's take a look at that phrase, in praise, or to do something in praise of somebody. This is to do or say something for the purpose of making people admire or praise somebody.
For example, let's say, a few months ago, there's a musician and he just put on an amazing recital. After the recital, I heard a lot of words of praise concerning this musician's recital.
Excellent. So there are words of praise for somebody. And the web is seen here in Charlotte's web. This web is seen as a miracle. That means people who didn't know that animals could communicate with each other see this web, and it's kind of a miracle, and soon everyone is rushing to see the famous pig at Zuckerman's farm.
That's right. Now, I remember the first time I saw this movie. I thought, well, that's rather strange. You have this spider, and she's weaving words of praise, for Wilbur, of Wilbur. But it's actually rather thoughtful because it saves Wilbur.
It's true. Well, something interesting about this story, another theme, I think, there's this underlying assumption that the world favors or adores famous people. This is what the spider in the story reasons as well. That's why her web is perhaps able to save Wilbur. I think it's an unfortunate fact or reality, but that's part of the story as well.
Well, right now it's time for the SC Challenge. Hey everyone, welcome to yet another SC Challenge. I love the SC Challenges because they can be rather challenging. Well, let's go ahead and meet our contestants. We have one new player today, and we have a returning player. Let's meet them.
Hey everyone, I'm Katrina.
And my name is Brandon. Great to be back here on the SC Challenge.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Oh, they seem so ready. Who's going to win?
I was born for this, Rebecca.
Okay.
I don't know, Brandon.
Okay, well, they both think they're going to win, but we can only have one winner. Well, get your bells ready Ready, and let's do our first question. We're talking about Charlotte's Web. So, who are the two main characters in the book Charlotte's Web? A. Charlotte and Wilbur. B. Wilbur and Templeton. C. Templeton and Charlotte. Or D. Uncle and Wilbur. Yes, Brandon?
I'm going to go with A.
Charlotte and Wilbur?
That's it, yes.
Well, that is correct. 1 point for Brandon. Jayo, Katrina, you can do it. Next question. Which best describes a runt? A. Smaller than normal. B. Bigger than normal. C. The same size. Or D. As expected. What? Yes, Katrina?
B.
B. Bigger than normal. No, that's not correct, but good try.
Is it A? Smaller than normal?
That is correct. Good job. 2 points for Brandon, but you can do it, Trina. Last question. Which word might be best to use to describe Wilbur's initial feeling? A. Happy. B. Excited. C. Lonely. Or D. Sad. His initial feeling.
Is it C? Sad?
That would be D. Sad.
Oh, D, sad. Is it sad?
Sad. Ooh, no, that's not correct. Okay, Katrina, what do you think?
A. Happy.
A. Happy. No, it's not happy. He was not happy. What do you think?
I think it's the other unhappy one.
C. Lonely.
That's it.
Lonely, yes. Wilbur was very lonely. He longed for friendship. All right, well, Brandon is today's winner, but Katrina did great for her first time.
Thank you.
And of course, friends, I know you did great too. So we'll see you next time.
All right, well, friends, I'm sure that was a good challenge for you as well. Hey, make sure that you reread today's lesson with your new appreciation for those words and phrases that we discussed. And be sure to check out our other social media platforms, like on YouTube, 好想讲英文, Facebook, Line, 每日英文. There is something for you to practice every day. Okay, so let's finish this summary and learn more about the story of Charlotte's Web next time, right here on Studio Classroom.